Hello and welcome to this week's Omsi 2 news. Before we get started, I would just quickly like to remind people not to ask about release dates because any release dates that have been announced will be announced in the news video. Hence, asking about them in the comment section doesn't serve much benefit, and it is also annoying for developers, so I would just kindly remind people not to ask about release dates. With that out of the way, let's get into this week's Omsi 2 news. So this week we have quite a bit of information about upcoming buses and maps, as well as work in progress projects. In addition, we have some information about a brand new map that has come out that's kind of gone under the radar, and then some exciting news for those of you who are modders in Omsi 2. So first of all, for those of you, a few of you have requested that I talk about the Scania Omnidekka, which is being developed by Studio Ononoki. And this basically, upon release, will feature 3 variants. It's going to have a 10.6 meter single door version, a 10.6 meter dual door version, and then an 11.9 meter single door version. In addition, the bus will come equipped with 2 sets of displays, the Kruger displays, which are fairly standard on most buses that come out for Omsi 2, as well as the master switch displays for those of you who own the Gen 3 pack. And then here you have a nice screenshot of the bus. Again, if you join the Discord or even the Studio Ononoki Discord, you can gain the most up-to-date information about this. And of course, we have their announcements channel integrated into our Discord server, so any major announcements about the project is also mentioned in our Discord server thanks to the community integration possibilities of Discord. And nonetheless, that's really all there is to the Scania Omnidekka, coming along very nicely. And then let's move on. So in addition, a brand new map, well, not a brand new map, but basically an existing map is being extended yet once again. Manly Act 4 is an Australian map, and it's one of the biggest maps in Omsi 2. And as you can see here, it's been in development for over 8 years. Currently, Manly Act 3 is available for download, but now the developer once again is working on expanding the ever so big RHD Australian map, Manly Act 4. The features of Manly Act 4 is going to include an AI tram system like so. So this here is the AI tram, which is obviously a nice addition. Always nice to have some AI tram vehicles about. There's also going to be routes 136 and 144 added, and there will be some integration of the beach bus line and some depots as well that will be included. So a lot of new expansions, basically 2 new routes, an AI tram, and a depot to sum it up. And then here is also a screenshot of the depot. So for those of you who have been playing Manly Act 3, you'll be able to enjoy this expansion at some point, which is currently being developed. And then we also have a brand new Budapest map, line 181, that was released on the web disk about a week ago. You can find the link to it either in the description or in the Discord server. The line currently features 1 route, which is 20 minutes long, and it's the 181 line. And in addition, it has an AI tram line 3. There is also plans to work further on the map. It seems that they may be working on an Icarus, but again, this is something that seems to be alluded to through the images, and someone noticed in the web disk thread and hence commented about this, so that is another potential. But nonetheless, it's yet another new map for Omsi 2, this time LHD, but looks quite good, and you know, it hasn't really been surfaced that much because the Omsi 2 forum has closed down. Well, it's kind of on minimum maintenance, which means basically where usually people gain the most news about stuff, the Omsi 2 forum is no longer the case because that's kind of shut down. But this is a new map that might be worth trying out if you guys want. And then we have some information about the Volvo B5LH Drivetrain Mod. So Morphi, who is working on the drivetrain mod, last week, I think it was a Sunday, 2 weeks ago by the time this video is scheduled, released the final beta of the Volvo B5LH. So basically, this is the final version this is the final beta version where you guys get to give your feedback. So of course, if you want to give your feedback on the mod, you can always do so on the Fellowsome thread for the B5LH or on the download section. So do make sure to do that if you want, you know, to have some input in the development stage. And then once this is finished, it's going to be incorporated into the Masterbus Gen 3 pack version 1.2. But nonetheless, the final beta version was released. And it includes here, it's basically improved the jerkiness, it's improved the performance of the bus on hills so it can climb hills better. And then you have something about the shifting, oscillating shifting, not too sure what that is myself. And then there's also changed some stuff with the diesel engine, so how it behaves. and this engine does stay on for longer. And they've also disabled the kickdown, and I think the reason for that was, I think some people were saying it was causing some issues. And it also has some brand new sounds. So what I'll do now is I will show you a quick video of the Volvo B5LH final beta drivetrain mod, which you can watch here. And of course, if you want to watch the whole video, you can do so on the card that will appear up above. So I'm just going to mute the microphone for about 30 seconds and let you see what the update looks like. And I got to mention quickly that the sounds are absolutely superb, because compared to the previous beta version, the sounds that they've included into the B5LH drivetrain final beta makes that driving experience ever so more enjoyable. So yeah, I'll be back with you in 30 seconds. Okay, and now on to the next thing. The Volvo ADL Enviro 400R open topper. So on Monday of the 8th of March 2021, which was Monday week, the Westcountry version 3.0.1 was released on Fellows Films. So it seems to be a trend with the UKDT team, particularly for Westcountry version 3, that the stuff is released on a Monday. And another thing is, like with when Westcountry version 3 was announced, they put it on their Facebook page and on their other social medias that it's coming soon on the Monday, and then a few hours later it was released. So again, this could indicate a particular trend where whenever they say something's coming soon, it gets released on that day. Nonetheless, the main feature of Westcountry version 3.0.1, apart from the bug fixes, was this bus here, which is the ADL Enviro 400 open topper, or the Alexander Dennis open topper. And this is allocated to route 122 in Westcountry version 3.0.1, which is a seaside route that's also allocated. It's specifically intended for open toppers and runs only in the summertime, and it runs along the seaside, so it's ideally suited for open toppers. It also runs as an AI bus, and it's also the AI bus used on the 122. So that's another change that's happened in Westcountry version 3.0.1. You now not only see the normal Enviro 400 Rs, but on the 122 you also get to see the open toppers. And now I'm going to show you once again a video of the open topper. And this, well, sorry, when I say once again, I mean I'm going to show you another video, not I'm going to show you another video of this. But I'll show you a video now of the open topper. Again, if you want to watch the full video, it will be linked in the card during the video. And this time the video is on the 17A, because apart from Yorkshire version, Westcountry version 3.0.1, Yorkshire version 2.0 has a very suitable route for open toppers, the 17 and the 17A, which are the coast hoppers, and that also goes along the coast. So here's another about 30-second video for you guys to watch, just getting a glimpse of the open topper, and it's from the upper deck as well. So yeah, I'll be back with you again in 30 seconds. Okay, and now onto the final thing for today. So for those of you who are modders and who have particular experience with Blender, some exciting news. V3D has announced that he is going to release the Blender files for all of his projects except for the MAN A20U, and I believe the reason for this is because it's such an old project, he probably doesn't have the Blender files anymore, or they're somewhere that's not so easy to acquire, and obviously the paywall ones can't be sent out due to copyright reasons because it's a licensed product, and then the unleashed projects, unreleased projects such as the Optera Solo. But basically that means that he's released the Blender files for the Enviro 200 MMC, the V70L ALX 400, the Transbus ALX 400, which includes the London spec and the regional spec. And this is quite exciting because basically it means that for those of you who wanted a London spec Enviro 200 MMC, quite a few modders have got their hands on the Blender files and are now working away on the Enviro 200 MMC London spec. So soon enough, we might actually be able to see a dual-door Enviro 200 MMC, which will be a perfect addition for Omsi 2 Addon London, as well as the numerous other London projects that are being developed for Omsi 2 currently. I suspect the reason V3D released this is because he was probably getting a few requests about this, and instead of having to send them out individually, it just makes more sense to make them openly available, which is obviously a nice move because he himself has moved on from Omsi 2 onto the bus by TML. So this allows people to maximize the potential of his amazing work, and you know, some of the work that does include all variants like the Enviro 200 MMC. One thing to note actually is that upon announcement, the website couldn't handle the amount of traffic, so it seems that quite a lot of people went and got the files, and that obviously raises the question, how many of those people actually know how to use Blender? But nonetheless, it's there, so in the future we can expect some exciting stuff being done with V3D's models, and obviously due credit to V3D for helping the community in such a fashion. And that brings us to an end to this week's Omsi 2 news. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for your weekly Omsi 2 news update. They'll be and I've just mentioned perhaps next week the Omsi 2 news won't be on a Tuesday, it might be on a Thursday or Friday, because we're going to be doing the bus by TML, so there's going to be quite a lot of content regarding the bus, so it might mean that the Omsi 2 news will get scheduled for Thursday or Friday. So just a heads up, the Omsi 2 news is generally on Tuesdays, but next week might be a different story. Again, more about this later. As always, make sure to join the Discord for even more information about the Omsi 2 news and to get your official sources, i.e. all these different developers who have official Discords with their announcements channels integrated all into our Omsi 2 news channel. Do subscribe to the channel for your weekly Omsi 2 and simulation news updates. And that's really it for now. Yep, until next time. Bye for now.